I'm so excited. So today we're getting together with an amazing lady I met off of TikTok, and we're going to talk about how weight loss it's not fair, guys. I wish that it was. I wish that we had an answer for you. I see you, darling. So send me the join request. On the bottom, see the two little faces? Click on it, and it will send me a join request. I'll accept, and you will be here. I can't wait. When I saw her video and I realized that we have a very similar story, I had to invite her to come and chat with us about this. And what a better day than Friday to get together with new friends. Friday is my favorite day. Hello! Ariana, I'm so excited! Woo! TikTok friends! Haha! So, yes, I can hear you pretty good, yes. And your face is in like the perfect spot. We're like rocking it.
Yeah, wait, I got my ring light on. I got that in front of me. I'm fully prepared.
Oh, see, fancy. I don't have one of those. I just have this light.
That's a little more fun, though, too.
Do you know what? It was kind of an accident. One time I did a Thursday night karaoke video, and I decided to bring the lights, and everybody fell in love with them, and they were like, oh, it has to be your kitchen. And now when
It's so in line with your name. I mean, Keto, it's perfect with your hair and name.
When I share videos without the lights, people are like, I knew you weren't always cool, Dory. I knew you were lame just like everybody else. I knew it.
Right.
So why don't you introduce yourself first and tell us a little bit about you, and then we're going to get into today's topic. And ladies, buckle up, because we're going to have some laughs. We might shed a tear or five, and we're going to talk about why weight loss just flat isn't fair. Like, you might get the raw end of the stick, but we're in that together.
Well, hey guys, my name is Kathy Dean. I have a blog called Healthier Visions, along with a YouTube channel, obviously Instagram, and of course TikTok. I am a huge TikTok fan / addict, so if you're not following me over there, go find me over there. It's not like that fun. So I have been doing keto. February was 2 years.
Yes.
And it really kind of evolved into that after about an 8-year journey at that point. We've been on a healthy journey for 10 years. And it really started with my husband struggled with his weight, his cholesterol through the roof. In fact, the doctor flat out told him, if you don't change something, you're going to die. So, as a young wife, mom of 2 kids, I told him he wasn't allowed to widow me, at least not until the kids were grown. So, anyways, that kind of started our journey and eating healthier, dumping in processed foods. About 4 years ago, I actually got on the vegan kick.
Okay.
We had a friend who had actually basically cured a chronic illness that he had. Did a lot of research. I thought I had found the cure for my husband. Vegan was going to fix him. Unfortunately for him, the vegan didn't work for him. 6 months into it, his cholesterol had gone up.
No.
It actually had the opposite effect on him. And so I started researching again, and that's when I started learning about insulin resistance. So what we came to find out is his body, it wasn't the fats that he reacted badly to, it was the carbs. And so we literally swung the opposite direction. We got on keto, and here we are 2 years later. He is as thin as he was, maybe a few pounds lighter than high school weight.
Wow.
His cholesterol's down, his blood pressure's down. It has, for us at least, keto truly has been the cure. So him overall, from his heaviest weight, he is down 60 pounds.
Wow. And that's just amazing. And that's the video that I saw, that I came across you first. You popped up on my For You page. I've seen you there a time or two before, I won't lie. You see people swing by and you're like, oh, I kind of like her face. I like her. And then I saw you do a video that said, I helped my husband lose 60 pounds. yay. And I thought, yes, yay. But I have also been there. And on the flip side of that, I'm like, okay, totally love you. Like, love you a really lot. Super proud of you. Kinda hate your face a little bit. Because when my son decided, oh, I'm gonna try your keto, Mom. You know, I'm feeling a little pudgy. I think I'm gonna try your keto. All he had to do was eat what I made for him for 3 months, and he lost 60 pounds. And I'm like, dude, I'm over here bouncing the same 2 pounds back and forth. Like, thanks a lot.
Absolutely. And I have to, where my husband can go more free flow keto, he can have all of it. And we literally have dessert every day. I just had so we have keto desserts almost every day. He can eat all the nuts, the dairy, and everything, and be perfectly happy. I have to literally cut out all nuts, all dairy, and get very strict to budge the needle. But when you have a keto blog that focuses on keto comfort food and fun recipes, I don't have a lot of willpower, so I'm making all this fabulous food for the blog and for my family, and then I eat it too, and it's on the scale of not making that budge. Because like, if I lived alone and I didn't have a blog, it would be easier. But yeah, my husband, he can eat all the keto fun stuff, and it just melts off of him.
Well, and it's so easy for men. When I just literally stopped making a carb side dish for every meal, my fiance lost 10 pounds. I was like, are you kidding me? He was still eating junk food. He was still eating his lunches at work. The literal only difference is that I stopped giving him a potato or a pasta or a rice every single night of the week. And I was like, what? That's it. I hate you a little bit right now. He's walking around tie wiring his pants because his pants are falling off of him. And that's the only difference. Oh, I don't eat a carb for dinner. What?
Yeah, feel your pain. I definitely feel your pain.
If I look at a carb, I'm like, that's gonna do something, you know? And I guess you're really lucky because you got to transition your whole family. When I started keto, it's 3 years now, my family said, oh, that's a really great idea for you. Have a good time with that.
My husband, his initial reaction was not positive. Because like, I did all the research, just like I have with vegan diet and previous diets before. Like, I got something new I want you to try. And he's usually very good. But his first reaction was, that's crazy. Because he loves potatoes, he loves his bread. So I'm like, okay. But I knew as the main cook in the house, it gives me a little bit of power.
Well, see, and that's the bottom line, is they're going to eat what you make or they're going to go hungry.
Right, so, you know, for a family movie night, you know, whenever it's my son's turn to choose, he always chooses pizza. So, of course, I just found Fathead Dough. So, I made me a little personal pizza with Fathead Dough, and they're eating their pizza from wherever they ordered it from. And I'm eating mine. Of course, my husband's looking at me. He's like, I'll take a bite. Okay. Of course, he takes a bite into it, and he's amazed. He's like, this is amazing. Because we tried cauliflower crust pizza.
Yep.
And God bless the people that like it. I don't.
I haven't actually tried that one, to be honest. I've heard mixed reviews, and that's kind of what I hear, and I'm like, meh, I'll save my cauliflower for loading it, you know, with bacon and cream cheese. And
I'm fine with that. I have the cauliflower tot recipe on the blog, which is shockingly good. I did not expect it to turn out as well as it did. But the Fathead Dough, man, that was a game changer.
Yes.
And so between that, and then I bought an ice cream maker, and I started making keto-friendly ice cream. And so I tell everybody, I literally won him over one recipe at a time. And then to the point where him and my son, who was a teenager at the time, again, he eats what I make, they started challenging me. So, like, we drove by Sonic one time. My son was like, okay, make the keto version of a cherry limeade. Okay. And so it almost became a game for about 6 months, where they would challenge me with some of their favorite foods. Yes. And there's a recipe for everything. I got a quick search online. It's crazy what you can make. Like, for example, my husband's favorite cookie is Oreos.
Yes.
Of course, lady over at Nom Nom has a Oreo cookie recipe. That's keto. I actually did a video on YouTube about that, making them. And it's incredibly good. And so within a couple of months, I had won them over. Once I proved to them they could keep eating the foods they love,
yes,
then they got on board. And that actually is kind of where Healthy Ambitions came from. It was making all these amazing recipes. It didn't feel like you were restricting yourself. And having other friends try them, and friends going, you need to show us how to make this. You need to show me how you figure this out, or the recipe, share the recipe. And so about a year ago, I started Healthy Ambitions because everybody kept asking me to share the stuff anyway.
Well, and it's funny because I hear so many echoes of my story in yours. My creation started from ridiculous off-the-wall challenges, like drop the gauntlet. If it sounds absolutely ridiculous, I'm going to work on that. The first one was my cousin's wife tagged me in a funny meal prep post that was tacos and Corona. And she was like, ha ha, bet you can't keto this story. And I was like, can't I though? Can't I though? I made a fun margarita and keto burritos, and I made keto taquitos, and I posted it, and she was like, I didn't think you could do that. Like, I didn't think it was possible. One of my girlfriends is very, very strict carnivore, and she said, Dory, I once in a blue moon, I want a dessert. I want a cake. I want a donut. And I put my mind to it, and I created her a carnivore recipe that she can use for cakes and donuts and waffles, and it's based out of pork rinds. But once you open your brain and think, how can I make this? How can I create this? Everything from, I make flavored sparkle vodka to...
I enjoyed that video yesterday. I was watching it. I didn't comment, but I watched it.
Oh, I love it because it's literally just opening your brain and realizing there isn't anything you can't make. My fiance's most sarcastic suggestion was, because I'm such a unicorn girl, he was like, I want unicorn meat. I'd like to eat unicorn. Thank you very much. And that was what made me create my first unicorn meatloaf, which is a rainbow swirl meatloaf, cheese stuffed, bacon wrapped. When you slice it, it's all neon. I've done that recipe probably 4 or 5 times now, and it's a household favorite. Everybody's like, yeah, I haven't had the unicorn meatloaf. And it's a ridiculous thing. Like, who would even think of that? But it's so pretty.
One thing that you actually said on the video yesterday that resonated with me and it was basically learning how to do some of this stuff for long-term keto. You know, like with alcohol. If you enjoy an alcoholic beverage, giving that up for life isn't feasible. However, when you can make that keto version of it, suddenly it is sustainable. And for us, especially when it comes to desserts, the cakes, and the cookies, and some of this comfort food, for my family, that had to be part of it. We had to find a way to still enjoy the foods we love. Otherwise, we were not going to be able to sustain this long term.
Well, and that's me. Like, I love food. And what some people know about me and some people don't is I had gastric weight loss surgery. So I'm only able to eat a very small amount of food. I eat what you would feed a toddler. So I flat out don't waste my stomach space on food that isn't fabulous. Like, dude, if I can eat 4 bites of something, it's going to be 4 bites of the most amazing thing you've ever seen. I don't eat blah. I'm sorry, I don't do it. I can't bring myself to it.
No, I get it. Absolutely.
And so much of food is visual. It's the smell. It's the feeling that comes along with it. So let's talk about when you started losing weight and he started losing weight, how that made you feel. Because I get so many messages from women who are like, okay, so I'm really proud of my husband. I'm going to start by saying he's awesome and I really love him. But if he doesn't stop losing weight, well, I'm going to kill him, Dory. Like, I love him, but I will kill him. Why? Yeah. What is going on? So let's talk a little bit about that. Why is it different for men, for young men, young women? When you're, under 25, I would say you're sitting at your ideal hormonal compilation to lose weight like lightning.
One thing we have to remember about men, too, is physiologically, they have more muscle.
Yes.
Muscle burns more calories from that alone.
Yes.
And then us as women, our hormones go wackier than men's. I don't, again, from just a physiological, scientific, biological state, for every single month, there's a whole week every month that our hormones go wacky. And then as we get older, as our bodies develop, whether we've had children and our hormones go wacky then, I'm getting to the age where I'm very near, like I'm starting to have some perimenopause.
Hello.
And so it's like your whole life as a woman, your hormones are constantly changing and evolving and trying to figure out what's going to work for your body in this 5-year period is going to be totally different than what worked the previous 5-year period. And it's frustrating.
I would say that I am like chin deep in that right now. I've been keto for 3 years. I was ticking along doing really, really awesome. And in this last year, I gained 15 pounds. There isn't any reason. I haven't off plan. I haven't changed. I haven't anything. What's changed is my hormones have changed. I'm now premenopause. My periods are getting closer together. I'm starting to get other symptoms. We're like, what? Really? Like, come on. Like, that's the reward. Now I can have my period more than once a month. Yay! Why didn't I buy stocking tampons in the 80s?
See, nobody told me that was going to happen.
No.
Where was the warning?
Well, of all the things that I wasn't prepared for, I think each phase of life I've hit a like, what the heck? Are you kidding me right now? What? I don't understand. And with my son, his weight loss was like boop, 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 boop. And I was like, do. When I first started keto, I can't even say why I stuck to it. Part of it is I was doing everything wrong, like every newbie does in the world. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so keto. You don't think I'm keto? Fight me. Fight me. But I wasn't, because I didn't really understand what keto was. I wasn't eliminating everything by ingredients. I was still doing things like, oh, I bought spinach pasta. Look how good I am. It's more starch. It's more carbs. So, I mean, I was doing some things wrong as well, but I started at 180, 182, 180, 182, 180, 182, and I literally bounced that, and not a loss, like, not a loss. I want to be clear about that. It's not like bumping a loss of 2 pounds. I went from my start weight to up 2 pounds, and I did that for months. And then all of a sudden, one day I woke up, I hopped on the scale, and I was 170 pounds. And I was like, how did I lose 10 pounds overnight? I've been bouncing this same 2 pounds for, God, at that point, it was probably close to 6 months. Like, 6 months. So when people message me and they're like, so I've been eating keto for like 4 or 5 days and haven't lost any weight yet, I'm about to give up. And I'm like, dude.
Wait a minute. Well, and one thing I think people don't realize, especially when they're going to keto, and doing keto the right way, right? Doing it
yes.
Eliminating those inflammatory foods. Your body, especially as women, and especially if you have yo-yo dieted, if you have done a lot of crash diets, you have wrecked your system. Your body needs to heal before it can start progressing to that next phase if weight loss is wrong.
Well, and let's talk a little bit about where you are in your journey too, because that has a huge impact. If you're coming to keto and you have 200 pounds to lose, you're going to lose a lot in the first couple weeks, in the first couple months. It's going to seem like, oh, I didn't even hardly do anything, and the weight is melting off of me. If you come to keto like I did at that 20-pound window when you're like, oh, I got 20 pounds left to go, it's a whole new world. Like, I call it the under 40 club, and it doubles up under 20. If you're down to that last little bit of weight, you're not going to lose 20 pounds week 1 like somebody who's looking to lose 200 pounds might. You're probably going to eat really, really healthy. You're going to love your food, and your scale is probably not going to move for months and months and months. And you're going to say, what am I doing wrong? Why am I doing it wrong? you might not be doing anything wrong, but your body needs to heal. So let's talk a little bit about that, because where you are in what you're eating when you start affects too. So what happens if...
Absolutely, like your diet before, if you're coming from the standard American diet and you're suddenly ditching the processed food and all the crap ingredients to any whole food diet, and that could be vegan, that could be keto, paleo, any whole food diet, you're going to see a drastic change. A lot of people are. If you're coming from a pretty healthy diet already and migrating into a keto diet, there's not as much of a detox that has to happen.
Yes. And I want to give people hope. If you don't know how to cook, that doesn't matter. Before I started keto, nothing I ever made, even homemade, was homemade. Like, homemade spaghetti was packaged pasta, and I would buy the can of sauce, and I would add the meat, and I would add some tomatoes, and I would add my seasonings, and that was homemade. Like,
and here's my husband loves to tell people how when he met me, every meal was cooked out of a box.
Yep.
I have a food blog now with recipes from scratch, and so he loves to tell people, when I met her, she couldn't cook. This was not the woman that I married.
Like, everything I made came out of a box or out of a can. And when I started keto, I won't lie, I started with the easy beginner recipes, 1 minute mug bread, the cakes, the easy things. And to be honest, I never really progressed past that because I didn't see a need to. A 1 minute mug bread recipe can make me any kind of bread, any kind of waffle, any kind of fathead, anything I want to make. Do I need to make a full loaf of bread just for me? I don't. But for people who love a full loaf of bread, knock your socks off and make it. But for me, I don't, because I'm the only person in my house that ketos. So on my page, I focus a lot on single serve. Because if I make 24 cookies, bitch, I'm eating 24 cookies. Like, I'm eating them all because they're keto and they're healthy and it's not even junk food. Like, why are you looking at me like that? This is a healthy cookie. Healthy cookie. Maybe you don't know about healthy cookies, but this is. And anything that's healthy is still going to be unhealthy, consumed at great excess.
Absolutely.
You can gain weight just eating broccoli and chicken if you eat a whole ton of it. So for me and what we do on my page, if I make cookies, I make 6. Because then it's a single serving. If I eat them all, it's not the end of the world. We'll make mini donuts as opposed to a pan of donuts. And I think for me, because I'm such a child, that a lot of what I make is really, it's mostly fun for kids. It's stuff that kids can make, 2 years and up with minimal supervision and really include kids. Now, my son's 22 years old. But I really love kids, and all the kids in my family will come and cook with me and hang out with me. And when you do it as a family, it becomes something that you enjoy together instead of a chore. So Meal Prep Sunday can be a lot of fun. It can be a dance party at your house. You can put on music, get out your lights, everybody gets their lunches set up, and everybody can make their meal for the week, and it really can be part of your family instead of people saying, oh, doesn't your diet just ruin everything? Like, doesn't your family hate you? Because I would hate you. Like, I'm not trying to be rude here, but I think I'd hate you.
Well, that's the thing, and meal prep, especially for those that are cooking adverse, and again, even though I have a food blog, I really do hate cooking. I get no enjoyment from cooking. I love food. I love the end product.
Yes.
So when we first started eating healthy, and I had a full-time job in corporate America, and we both worked full-time, so cooking throughout the week and cooking homemade meals throughout the week was not feasible.
Yes.
We were not going to be able to sustain a healthy lifestyle doing that. Because, you work late, so you get off work, you have to prepare it. Okay, go out to eat. So we did that. Sunday was batch cook Sunday, and for many years, I cooked 1 day a week. And me and my husband would get in there, and our kids would join in with us, and 4 hours was all it took. And we prepackaged all the meals into single serving. So our entire fridge was just Tupperware single serving meals. It was the greatest thing. I don't think we would have maintained our first leg out the gate of being healthy. I think we would have failed had we not been batch cooking.
Well, and isn't it amazing to think that you could spend a half an hour to an hour, 7 days a week cooking to feed your family, or you can do it all in one day, in 4 hours, get it over with, and what do you do with all that extra time? Like, as a mom, I'm like, no cooking dinner?
I still do the bulk of my cooking in 1 or 2 days, and any additional cooking is strictly for the blog or for YouTube. But as far as our main meals for the week, 1 or 2 days max, even now. And I enjoy it. Like I said, it frees up a lot of time.
Well, and I want people to know that if they look at ladies like you and ladies like me and they think, oh, it's because she loves cooking. I mean, she has time that I don't have. She's creative. I'm not. I'm going to say I have a whole section of recipes called I don't want to cook, but everybody can't starve. Like, because I don't want to cook. That's how I feel every day. I'm like, I don't want to cook. What, you guys want to eat again? Like, didn't I feed you yesterday? You're so greedy. Greedy.
Yeah, you're greedy with the food. But yeah, I love to have my family healthy, but I do not enjoy cooking at all. And people are really surprised to find that out. Even close friends are like, what do you mean you don't like cooking? Like, I hate it.
I don't like it.
I love food so much that, cooking has to happen.
Well, and the joy is in the plating, to be honest with you. Like, that's the part that I find most rewarding. It's not the cooking. Sometimes it's not even the eating. It's the like, oh my God, that's so pretty. And I won't lie, my family laughs at me because I take pictures of my food before I eat it. They make jokes that I'm the lady in the commercial, click, 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 click. And I go to take my first bite and my son's like, hey, kiss on the cheek, I'm out. Because I can relive it forever then. Like, I have it forever. If you have something, you made it, you ate it, you can kind of remember it. I'm not going to brag, but I can look at them and be like, oh, I remember that one.
Great.
Some days that's all the inspiration that you need, though, just to flip back and be like, oh, I remember the time that I made this. Because especially when you put content out there, it's, how do I even explain this? It's almost like you feel like, oh, I did that, it's out there, everybody's seen it. They've seen it. They know that. The other day, I submitted my popcorn recipe to a recipe blog, and I got messages from people that were like, excuse me, you made a popcorn substitute?
And did you do with the keto chow that you posted on TikTok?
Yes, that is a variation of it too.
Other than that, I actually have made my own flavor version that's savory for savory popcorn. My husband has recently volunteered to be my official writer. I don't like writing either. Again, I have a food blog. I hate to write, I hate to cook. So I don't know what I was thinking. So I'll do the recipes and he writes the blog post. But I made basically cheesy popcorn. He was amazed. And what's great about it for the carnivore folks, it's 100% carnivore.
It is. It's 100%. It's just an egg base, and then whatever you add to it, like, mind blowing. I've used it to make savory bagel bites. I've used it to make. I made some ranch and Frank's Red Hot Ranch ones. I've made caramel ones. I've made regular popcorn. I've made the Colonel, what do I want to say, the kettle cooked style.
Yeah.
But man, like, once you figure out a basic easy recipe, you can take that recipe and you can create so many different things with it. But when I got a message from my girlfriend who was mad at me, I was like, dude, that's been out for almost 2 years. Like, it's out there. It's out there, but I forget all of the time that, the way that social media is, in our mind, our friends see everything we do. They're our friends. They follow us online. Like, They know I put my whole life online. They know everything already.
So, right? I mean, I feel the same way. And then suddenly someone who literally has been friends with me on Facebook for a decade,
yeah,
they're like, you do keto? And I'm like, where the hell have you been for the last 2 years? I mean, did you unfollow me? Maybe? I don't know.
But what I have discovered is that when it comes to social media, we're scrollers. And
yes,
that is kind of where all of the media's got us by the right there, because you see what they show you. So people who follow you may or may not see your content unless they're specifically going to your page to look for it. And I think there's some awesomeness in the scroll by society, because I wouldn't have found you. Because that's how we do, you know. I was just scrolling and I was like, oh, I like her. I'm gonna send her a message and I'm gonna say, want to do a live? Because I think we should do a live. Which is literally how I approach people. I see their content, I like it, and I just message them and say, hey, wanna come hang out with me on my page? We'll have fun.
Oh, great.
But I think what we lose in that sometimes is that idea that once it's out there, it's out there. And what I have learned through 3 years of keto and helping people learn keto is that every single day there's somebody brand new. There's somebody brand new on your page. They don't know anything about keto. They don't know anything about you. And absolutely everything is brand new information. But also find that encouraging. When I saw Butter Bob's video, Butter Makes Your Pants Fall Off. Yeah. And that video changed my life. He had already been gone from the keto community for years before I ever saw that video, and it changed my life. So if you guys are putting content out there and you think, oh, nobody watched it, nobody cared, nobody saw it, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years from now, someone is going to see that content and it's going to be brand new information to them. So share it. If it gets likes, if it gets views, it doesn't matter. It's there, and someone, if the one person who needs it today finds it today, tomorrow, 10 years from now, then I know I put it out there for a really good cause. Oh, you're back.
Actually, I have a perfect example of that, of what's actually one of the articles on my blog now. When I first started, I have this one post that, how to lose the bat wings. And so it's like 4 different tricep exercises. And right now, it is blowing up. I am getting mass amounts of traffic from Pinterest on this one article I wrote literally a year ago that did nothing a year ago. And suddenly it's hitting for no apparent reason. And I've had several recipes like that. Like, I'll post them out there and nothing happens. And then 2 or 3 months later, suddenly the world picks it up. And so it's really neat to see. But the other thing, back to friends on social media, I can't tell you how many friends who 2 years ago looked at me and said, oh, that's great for you doing keto. I could never do it. And then a year and a half later, they're coming to me asking, hey, how do I make this? How do I make this work? What does keto really mean? So oftentimes you'll find people that aren't necessarily interested right away. You keep doing it. Absolutely keep doing it. Be consistent, because you never know when somebody's mind is going to change for whatever reason.
I couldn't.
We weren't always keto. We came to it eventually.
Well, and I was not looking. Like, honestly, I originally found keto because my girlfriend wanted to try the newest weight loss shake that happened to have keto in the name, and I agreed we would do the shake. And when the shakes arrived, she called me and she was so excited. She's like, oh my God, Dory, there's a whole diet. There's a whole diet. I was Googling how to make the best use of these shakes, and there's a whole diet. And I swore at her face. And I was like, girl, I said I would drink a shake with you. I never said diet. I don't recall ever saying diet, girl. I know. Do you know me? Do you want to be my friend? Like, smile, nod, back away very slowly. And she said, oh, this is different, Dory. You're going to love this. This is totally different than any diet you've ever seen. She sent me a video, which I won't lie, was probably one of the lamest videos I've ever seen. It wasn't even a good video. The guy, I opened it up and I looked at it and I went, that's right, diet guy. I don't like your face. I don't like your face. So why don't you tell me about your awesome diet? And he started out with bulletproof coffee. I'd never start there. Like, dude, butter in your coffee? You're so gross. Ew.
When I first heard that, I was like, there's no way.
I love it now. But when I heard it, I was like, if I hadn't promised to watch this video, I'd shut you off right now because you're gross, dude. Like, ew. Ew. And then something really magical happened. He said bacon. And I was like, hey, hey, Big Daddy, tell me more about this bacon. Mommy liked bacon. And he talked about other foods I loved. And at the end of the video, I went, you know what, that makes sense. It makes sense that I should eat that. That sounds like ancestrally what my people would have eaten. I'm going to do it. I'm going to keto. And I didn't know what keto was, and I didn't know how to do it. Back then, I didn't even know there were Facebook groups for that. I Googled low-carb versions of things I wanted. I researched online, and I went about my merry way until one of my friends saw a pickle post sandwich on my page, and she's like, oh my God, Dory, are you keto? And I said, yeah, I've been keto for like, I don't know, at that point, from April until August. And she said this to me, which always makes me think of the two types of people in the world. I'm not keto yet, but I've been researching it for 3 months. I'm going to add you to the keto groups that I was in. And I was like, there's groups? People research that? I've been doing it for 6 months. What do you mean you researched it for 3 months and you're not doing it yet? Do it. Do it. And since then, I've noticed there are really only those two type of people when it comes to keto. There are people who hear one thing one time and they're like, I'm doing it. Whatever, I'll figure it out on the way and I'm going to do it. And there are people who are like, okay, I think I might be interested in this, but I'm going to do a lot of research. I'm going to do my due diligence. I'm going to read a lot of books. I'm going to watch a lot of videos. I'm going to make lists of everything. I've had people message me and they're like, okay, Dory, I'm almost ready to go. I've done 3 months worth of research. I have everything written out in a binder and I'm ready to go. And I'm like, dude, why? Like, why aren't you just do? So if you're a researcher or a doer, you could just do.
I'm definitely a researcher. Part of me, I think part of the reason I researched it so much, when I first heard keto, all I could think was an Atkins diet. And I'm like, I did Atkins. I did that back in the early 2000s. I know, bad diet, whatever. I'm not going to, that's not going to work for me. I've done Atkins and dropped quick 10 pounds, but it's not healthy. But, I didn't have, and that's where, for me, I needed to research because I didn't have an understanding of just how nutritious the keto diet could be. Because, you hear all the, I guess all the myths, right? About it being healthy, how can you possibly lower cholesterol if you're eating saturated fats? How can you possibly this? Because obviously in the medical field, you don't go to the doctor's office, you don't hear about insulin resistance. You don't hear about red meat. God, that's been demonized for decades. You don't hear about the nutritional value of a ribeye.
No.
And so I was very skeptical at first, honestly. And I find that's where most people are. Most of my friends and family, when I first started especially, they had that same skepticism that I had because of how backwards the nutritional guidelines are.
Well, and I think maybe I'll say maybe, but let's be honest, I didn't intend to stick with it long term. I'm a lady who would, do like people message me now and say, I ate healthy for 3 days and I didn't lose 5 pounds, so I'm going to eat donuts because clearly donuts love me and salad doesn't, so whatever, we'll start again fresh next week. and I would eat healthy for, 2, 3, maybe 4 days, and then you would have the big blowout binge. Because before you start a new diet, you have to eat all the things, because you're never going to have them again. Let's be honest, like never eating the things again. So you binge all the things, you eat healthy for 3 days, and then you binge again because, well, I restricted myself. So for me, the key with keto is I never feel restricted, therefore I don't feel the urge to binge. I can have what I want when I want it in a reasonable amount.
Well, exactly.
Awesome. It looks like your sound is kind of cutting in and out a little bit.
Yeah, and that was us too. So, I mean, any diet we had done before was so restrictive that, yeah, by the time you go to that birthday party and you have that cake, it's like you're eating half the cake. You're like, sorry, family, it's fine. But
I like that part.
I realized how you could keto-fy everything, and I realized, hey, you know what? If I want a donut, I can have a freaking donut. I'm going to make it myself.
Yeah.
It's going to be low carb, but I can have a donut. Like I said, I've got chocolate chip cookies sitting on my counter right now. I've got ice cream in the freezer right now. You know, and if I want to make, obviously, popcorn. I've got popcorn sitting on, thanks to you, I have popcorn sitting on my counter right now too.
Well,
and so once I realized I could keto-fy literally everything.
Yes.
Suddenly, the light bulb went on, and I'm like, I can do this long term. I can absolutely make this a lifelong decision. And here's what's really interesting. So about 6 months into keto, we went on a cruise, and I did very good with the food. But after a few too many adult beverages one night, wasn't really thinking straight. Ordered some wings. I'm thinking meat. Didn't think to ask if they were breaded.
Yeah.
Baked out. I'm all happy-go-lucky with my adult beverages. Go to eat the wings. I'm 2 wings into it when I realized, oh crap. Within 30 minutes, I was literally in so much pain because I had not had wheat. I had not cheated once. I had not had wheat in 6 months.
Yeah.
That one experience cured me of any temptation for wheat. I have not even been tempted since then. And so again, if I am tempted to have a donut, I'm not tempted to go to the donut shop. Not a temptation at all because I know how bad it's going to hurt. But I'm still going to have a donut.
Right? And it doesn't matter what your passion is when it comes to food or beverages. You can make it. My favorite was always the seasonal drinks from McDonald's. The chai tea frappe, I created a version of that. The Shamrock Shake. Because what I realized, I'm going to tell you a secret. So I used to be really addicted to the chai tea frappe, and the first time I tried it, I got 3 extra larges that day, and they became pretty much my everyday thing. I had one extra large of those pretty much every day. That was a staple. I would go, instead of getting my coffee, I would get that. But what I've realized since then, since keto, since Queen of Never used to look at labels, there's 120 grams of carbs and 116 grams of sugar in one.
Oh my God.
So I think, that first day, I think I got like a couple McDonald's burgers too. Like, I'm just saying. And I never realized those things because Shamrock Shake was a seasonal thing. Ever since I was a little girl, we always got the Shamrock Shake, 1 or 2 times when it was in season, and I never thought a thing of it. It's only a seasonal treat. I only get it once a year, but it's only 120 grams of carbs.
Yeah.
In a liquid form, like... And I was all like, I don't know why I'm fat. I eat like a bird. I don't know why I'm fat. Mostly it was the food that I pretended I didn't eat if nobody saw it. I was a food hider and a food hoarder. So I would only have to count the things that people saw me eat, which was very small, very healthy portions. And then when nobody was looking, I could get a dozen donuts, eat the whole box, and throw it away before I got home and be like, well, I didn't have any donuts. I haven't had a donut in forever. Like, I should buy donuts.
But you know what? But isn't that like a classic symptom of addiction? I mean, you take any addiction, alcohol, drugs, food. You're not gonna let you're not gonna let people see everything.
No.
You're going to hide food. I know my dad, he passed away about a year and a half ago, morbidly obese. And that's one reason that just becoming overweight has always scared me, because it is so prevalent in my family. Like, the majority of my family is morbidly obese. So it's in my genetics to be there. But my dad, he would talk like, yeah, I'm eating healthier and I'm walking. And I'm like,
are you though?
Why is there vanilla wafer still in the pantry? Because I know it says fat-free, Dad. That doesn't mean you can eat the whole box. It's like food disappears too fast, and the food truck that coming by the office, that counts too. All the food from that.
Right.
But he was so, with an addiction, you're lying to yourself as much as anything else. And
yes.
so he never got to the point that he really admitted that he had a problem with food. And unfortunately, he got really sick a year and a half ago with pneumonia, and the doctors told us we're fighting his weight as much as the illness. And his body just couldn't take it. And so that's one thing I talk to, especially my son, my teenager, who's 14 now. When it comes to us raising him, eating healthy, recognizing that genetically obesity runs in the family. But this is why we eat healthy, because had Granddad been healthy, had he been exercising and eating right, and had he been in a healthy weight, healthy on the inside and out, I said he wouldn't have died. I said, there's no one in this world that will ever convince me he still would have died had he been healthy. I was like, so don't just be healthy for yourself, be healthy for your family.
Yes.
And that was one of the things that, really kicked Scott into gear again when the doctor told him he was going to die. Our son was only 3 years old at the time. And the idea of dying and leaving our son without a father scared him. Like, he came home and he was crying and he was panicked, because he's like, this isn't about me right now. This is about my son. And so, unlike my dad, my husband drew that line in the sand. He said, I can't do this anymore. But it's not easy, and it hasn't. There has been some up and downs. The final weight, the final half of the weight came off with keto. But those first 30 pounds, I mean, they were up and down a lot, because there was still some food addiction there, and we were still having to learn things that we were not allowed to bring in the house. For example, Oreo cookies. A traditional box of Oreo cookies has not seen our pantry in a decade. I make the healthy version now, but there's certain foods, from an addictive standpoint, we physically cannot allow into our household.
And it's important to know what those foods are. No one can give you a list of those foods. They're so specific to you, and you know what they are. You do. If you think to yourself, oh man, if I get a cheesecake, I'm gonna eat the whole cheesecake. Cheesecake's probably an issue for you. I make a single serve cheesecake, so that if I want a cheesecake, I can make it in 2 minutes, I can eat it, it's gone, it's not a temptation. I was one of those people who would nitpick. So you would get like an angel food cake, and you'd walk by it and you'd eat a little slice, and then you'd eat a little slice, and you'd eat a little slice, and then you'd be like, hey, who ate all the cake? And everybody else would be like, I had one slice. I did not eat a whole cake. There is no way. Okay, so I ate a whole cake. Never mind. Never mind. Go about your business, people. Go about your business. Who ate all my cake? It wasn't me. Okay, it probably was.
Yeah.
So why don't we...
We are deceiving ourselves.
Yes. Well, and let's be honest, nobody gets to that point in their life because they're not deluding themselves. I didn't get to be 290 pounds because I had a very realistic self-image. Like, that's not how that happens. So I really want to encourage people that if that's where you are now, there is life on the other side of that. You can get through there. We can push through it, and you don't have to do it alone. So on that note, why don't you tell everybody where they can find you and where they can get more of your content, where they can chat with you.
So the website is healthyambitions.co, not
Okay.
.com, healthyambitions.co.
Okay.
On YouTube, it is youtube.com/healthyambitions. Of course, I'm on IG. I'm tagging this video.
Okay.
On TikTok, it is just Healthy Ambitions. Although I have learned, if you search by my name, Kathy Dean, I also come up that way.
Awesome.
I produce content that I come up personally. And then what else am I? That's the main. Oh, and then Pinterest is. You know what is? Again, just look up Healthy Ambitions on Pinterest. You should be able to find me. And it's a picture of me.
Excellent. Well, I'm so excited to meet you and so thrilled to see that we have so very much in common.
I know, this is so great.
And we're definitely going to have to do it again, because this is your first time. It wasn't bad, was it? Tell the truth.
No, like I said, it's, doing live, just connecting more with my own audience is something I've been wanting to do. But, just making that first week to doing it is sometimes the hardest part. So
yes.
Excuse me. And so, Dory, I appreciate this so much. Thanks for the invitation. This was so much fun. I had a blast.
You're welcome.
I'll definitely be sharing when you get the video uploaded to YouTube. I'll make sure to share it with my people.
Awesome. I adore you. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Happy Friday.
Yes.
Bye, doll. Okay, so I will gather all of her links together and add them at the end of the video for you guys. My dog thinks she's dying, if you can hear her whining in the background. So I'm going to sign out. I'm going to say have an amazing day. Pop back at 3 p.m. We're getting together with Chris from Keto for All Canada, and we're going to talk about their 30-day challenge for May. Starts today. So if you're ready to change your diet, change your exercise life, today might be your day. I'll see you at 3. Bye, guys.